Yo, what's going on guys, it's Wake here. Welcome to today's video. In today's one guys, we're going to be going over the best ways to get yourself arena points so you can race through and get your way to Champs Division, because I know that a lot of competitions like Cash Cups and whatnot, they all depend around being in Champs Division. So I'm going to show you guys how to get the best arena points that you can in the shortest amount of time. So without further ado guys, let's get into it. Okay guys, so before we get into today's video, if anything in this video helps you out, please make sure that you consider dropping a subscription and maybe a like on the video. If you guys have any questions for me, comment them down below, okay? I'm going to try to answer all of them and like all of them. Please make sure to put them all in the comments. Like I said guys, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you'll be notified when I go live or post, okay? So you can be the first people to watch my videos. Without further ado guys, let's get into the first topic in today's video. Okay guys, so the first thing that I want to talk about in today's video is the game mode that you're playing. Okay, you want to be playing solos, okay? Duos is kind of acceptable, but solos is definitely the best if you want to grind your way to Champions Division in the least amount of time. Trios is definitely a no-go. I highly recommend you don't do it until you're in Champs Division, okay? Because there is a substantial difference in the amount of points that you get between solos, duos and trios. I'm going to quickly go ahead and break it down. Okay guys, to keep this short and simple, in solos you get 20 points per elimination, in duos you get 10 points per elimination, and in trios you only get 7 points per elimination. So let's say your team in solos got 3 kills, so you get 3 kills, you would have 60 points. However, if your whole team had 3 kills in trios, you would only have 21 points. That's a 39 point difference guys, and those 39 points are so important when you want to be getting into Champs Division really quickly. So I highly recommend that you're playing solos. Duos is kind of acceptable because you would still have 30 points, which isn't quite as bad as 21, but honestly guys, solos is definitely the way to be going. Also, it's a lot easier to get yourself those placement points, so I highly recommend that you're going for solos, okay? Without further ado guys, now that we've got that wrapped up, let's get into the next point. Okay guys, so the next thing I want to talk about in today's video is adapting to the new season. The new season of Fortnite is completely different with the new weapons they've added and the new locations they've added. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about specifically the locations for this segment. I'm going to be talking about where you should be landing for the best points, okay? Now I'm going to do this in 2 sections. One is if you want to W key, okay, which honestly I don't recommend, but if you want to do it because you know you're a good and aggressive player, you can go ahead and follow these locations. Okay, I'll put them up on the screen now so you guys can see all over the map. I'll have them circled where you guys can go ahead and land. These are probably the best places for landing if you want to W key. However guys, if you want to play for placement and you want to play that passive sort of end game, okay, these are the locations that you want to be landing at. These will give you all the kind of resources, weapons, upgrades that you need so that you can make it to the end game and grab yourself some placement points and a lot of elimination points though, okay? This does give you a good balance if you want to play for the end game. If you want to land at these spots, it will give you decent amount of elimination points. The placement points guys is generally where all your points are going to be coming from. If you want a W key though, like I said, feel free, use all the locations. You can also pause the video if you needed to, okay? Go back and look at what ones you want to land at. Give them all a little try, because honestly, you might not like one of the places, you might like another place. So you can go ahead and find a few that you like so that you have all different locations, except for when the bus is a bit weird, you might want to change it up. Make sure you try them all out so you know which ones you like and which ones you don't like. Without further ado guys, let's get into talking about what guns you should be using in the new season. So guys, before we get into talking about your loadouts and what guns to be using in the new season of Arena, I do want to quickly mention that this is my personal opinion. You don't have to follow me, you don't have to copy me. Use whatever guns you find the best. These are just what I find is best in this current season. Okay, but like I said guys, you don't have to listen to me, and if you guys want to, you can skip this part, I don't mind. But if you do want the best details on how to get the best points, I recommend that you do listen into this bit. So let's get into what guns you should be using. Okay guys, to get things started with what kind of guns you should be using, we're going to start off with the assault rifle. Okay, honestly guys, new primal rifle isn't bad if you know how to use it, okay? If you can hit your shots with it, it can actually deal a decent amount of damage, but I don't recommend it as the bullet spread on the gun isn't too great. However, I do still recommend the just basic AR. The green, the blue, any kind of color, whatever it is still probably the best AR in my opinion. It's just a lot more accurate because the bullet spread, like I said on the primal rifle, isn't too good, whereas bullet spread on regular ARs is a lot better. So honestly guys, for your assault rifle, I recommend just a normal plain AR. Now guys, moving on to the shotgun, the new primal shotgun was very overpowered when it first came out. It has been nerfed slightly. Now I feel like it's quite balanced through both shotguns, through both the pump and the primal. I recommend the pump though still, as I feel like you can deal a lot more damage, and honestly taking an SMG or finishing them off with an AR still probably the best way to go. However, if you do like the primal shotgun, I do actually recommend taking it if you're good with it and you kind of like it, okay? So it's all down to personal preference when it comes to the shotgun in my opinion. So yeah, in heals, I recommend taking 2 heals, okay? I recommend taking at least some kind of shield, whether that's big shields or small shields, and I recommend taking some kind of white heals like a med kit or floppers, bandages, anything like that. Obviously I don't recommend bandages, they're not that good, but floppers or slurp fish, med kits, anything like that, I recommend that you take them as well. Now there's an empty slot. If you guys want to, you can take a crossbow, an SMG, anything like that. The new kinds of crossbows with the flames and the stink bows, they're honestly quite overpowered, and I recommend them if you can get good with them. Honestly, if your accuracy with the crossbow is good, you can just take a crossbow. But honestly guys, the flame and stink bows I reckon are really overpowered, and if you just spray them at people, they're gonna get flustered and it might just be an easy kill for you. So that's gonna pretty much wrap up our loadout. So let's go ahead and move on to the next point. Okay guys, so the last thing that I'm going to speak about in today's video is your aggression technique. Now what I mean by this guys is how much you should and shouldn't be pushing fights, okay? If you're in divisions 1 to 3, what you'll notice is you won't have any bus fare, so you won't get any points taken off you at the beginning of every match. What I recommend you doing if you're in those divisions is you just push everyone, okay? Don't stop, just literally W key every person you see, okay? Because what will happen is you won't lose any points. Okay, even if you die off spawn, you can go into the next game knowing that you haven't lost any points, and then guys, you can just start W keying again. When you get to division 4, you'll notice that you get 10 points minus, which is when I recommend that you sort of turn down the W keying just a slight bit. If you have the health advantage and you know that for a fact, yes, of course, W key. If you have any kind of good advantage that you know you can use to win, W key, okay? But do not just make stupid decisions when you're getting into these kinds of divisions. When you start getting 20 points taken off you when you're in division 5, okay, it'll be 30 points in division 6 and 40 points in division 7, okay? When you start getting these kinds of points taken off you, what I actually recommend you do guys is go ahead and play passive, okay? I recommend you stay until the top 25 people, then you'll be given 60 placement points, which is then when I recommend you W key, okay? Because what you'll notice is you'll actually be making points when you get that placement, okay? So when you're given the 60 points, I then recommend you just all out W key, because what you'll notice is the next game you'll realize you've actually made points still, okay? It may not be a lot of points if you die as soon as you start W keying, but you're still making points and you're not losing any, which is why I start recommending that you W key then. Now guys, when I say play till end game and play passive, this does not exactly mean do not W key at all. What it pretty much just means though is play a little bit quieter, farm all the resources you'll need, okay, materials wise and weapons wise, get everything you're gonna need if in case there's a lot of people at the end of the game that you're not expecting, okay? So make sure you're completely ready for it. Pretty much that is what I mean by playing passive. However, this doesn't mean do not push anyone at all. If you see someone who shoots at you and then you take a couple shoots back and you crack their shield or something, instantly push them, of course. But this doesn't mean that you need to push everybody that you see, okay? So I recommend guys in divisions 1, 2 and 3 you're just all out W keying everyone you see, pretty much landing at the busy places that I was mentioning earlier. However, when you get into the later divisions, when you start taking a decent amount of bus fare, okay, I recommend that you just play to end game, maybe pick up a couple of kills here and there, but honestly get all the resources you need for that late game, and trust me guys, it will benefit you a lot when you try to get to champion division. Okay guys, so that pretty much wraps up everything for today's video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like, and if anything in this video helps you, please make sure you drop a subscribe, okay, turn on post notifications because you'll be notified when I go live or post. Make sure you like I said, drop a comment if you have any questions, or just drop a comment, just saying that you like the video, okay? That's all for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out.